holding it like a baby. My baby. Welcome back to Time Well Wasted. I'm Faisal, and today I'm going to be talking about some of my favourite cozy games. So the games I'm going to be talking about today aren't necessarily kind of described or marketed as being cozy games, but it's just what I've been playing recently to help me relax. Things that are very chill and very easy to play after a long day of work or just chilling on a lazy weekend. I've been playing these games on a mix of my PlayStation and also on my Nintendo Switch, so you might not associate the PlayStation as having many cozy games. First cozy game I want to talk about is the one I've been playing the most of. So addictive, and it is Skater XL. So Skater XL is on the PS4, Xbox One, and on PC as well. There's currently not a PS5 version for it, but it runs very well, obviously, on the PS4. The Skater XL is a skateboard simulator game, very similar to EA's Skate series. If you've ever played any of those games, you'll know just how much fun it is, even if you don't skateboard in real life. I don't skateboard. Unlike Tony Hawk, where you can just kind of input random buttons and do crazy tricks, the controls on this game are really interesting in that each of the thumbsticks corresponds to a different leg. So the left stick controls your left leg and the right stick controls your right leg. Flicking them in various directions kind of does the different tricks. And you use the left and right trigger to turn your skater left and right. So Skater XL doesn't actually have a story mode at the minute, just a sandbox game, and you literally just skate. There's a challenge mode that kind of acts as a tutorial, teaching you how to do the basic flip tricks, certain grinds. You can set checkpoints really easily in various locations and just keep doing different runs of the same area. Very much like how you'd see skateboarders in real life, just kind of skate the same spot again and again and try and do certain tricks. It's not the easiest of games as well. So actually it's really satisfying when you do manage to pull off a really sick trick. For hours and hours and hours, I'll be skating the exact same spot. You know, just trying to live my skater boy life. Because who doesn't want a skater boyfriend? So currently on PS4, there aren't that many maps. The game's a lot more popular on PC. It's got a really strong modding community behind it with loads of different maps and character customization. I love any game where I can create my own character. Any game where I can have my character have bleached blonde hair, obviously I'm going to do it. I know currently as well there's another skateboard simulator game that's really popular called Session. Currently at the time of filming this, it's not currently out on PS5, which is why I haven't been playing it. I might talk about it later in another video because I think I probably will try it out as well. I've just been having so much fun with Skater XL. So obviously your boy Kirby is at the top of cozy gaming. If you've never played a Kirby game before, it features this lovely character, Kirby, who's a pink kawaii blob that just eats everything. So traditionally the Kirby games are 2D platform games that are actually quite easy but a lot of fun. So Kirby's got these powers where he can fly and he can swallow enemies and objects, and certain enemies that he swallows, he kind of obtains their powers. The game doesn't really have a story, to be honest. It just throws you into this 3D platforming adventure. It's actually the first 3D platforming Kirby game, and it's not like open world in the way that Mario Odyssey is. And a lot of people were a bit upset with that to begin with, because when they saw the trailer, they thought, wow, this is going to be huge. I actually like that it's a bit more linear and you have tiny levels. It's just much easier to kind of pick up and play a few levels. So the game's not particularly challenging, but it is very cozy and very cutesy. There's a lot of exploration within the levels. There's this one level where you've got to escort these little baby ducklings kind of through the hazards of the level back to their parent, and it's really cute, and it's just a really funny kind of little like side challenge within the level. I really like the power-ups in this as well. They're really satisfying, particularly the ice one, and Kirby does this really cute little twirl in the air. In the game, you also have these sort of side missions where you can get some extra points and credits and things to spend in the kind of in-game shop. And those are sort of fun challenges where you get to use the different power-ups. It's very wholesome. It's not a particularly hard platforming game. And it's also got co-op, which I haven't tried yet, but I think it would be a lot of fun to play with someone. I think it would be a really fun game to play with, say, a partner or a relative that really wants to play games with you, but may not have had a lot of experience with platforming games. It's definitely not like a hard platforming game like Super Meat Boy or anything. I'd say it's probably a bit easier than a standard Mario game, but it is a lot of fun and there's some really clever platforming. Okay, so the next cozy game that I've been playing a lot of is something you might not really think is a cozy game, and that is Spider-Man on PlayStation. So Spider-Man on PlayStation is probably one of the best games I've played in the last couple of years. The story is amazing and it's kind of everything you'd want in a Spider-Man game.
For whatever.
Whoa, like, lie to her face?
Yeah, but I don't have any other leads.
You know what we need?
Don't say a pros and cons list.
A pros and cons list, exactly.
I gotta make a move, man.
The part of the game that I find quite cozy of Spider-Man isn't actually the story mode, it's just the free roaming around the city. So beautiful day and night. The graphics are incredible, especially on the PS5 version with 60 frames per second. It just looks stunning. So it doesn't matter if you're playing Spider-Man PS4, PS5 or Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is what this game plays from. They both have the same layout of New York, which is huge, so detailed and just bustling with life. Sometimes I find it really fun just to even walk the streets of New York and just hang out with the civilians and take photos. The web slinging is incredible. If you know Spider-Man games, you'll know that Spider-Man 2 was the GOAT of web slinging. It had this amazing New York that you could swing through.
Every pizza was delivered on time? This is good! When my customers are happy, I am happy too.
And the web slinging was incredible. It was just so satisfying. This new Spider-Man game on PlayStation has absolutely taken that amazingness of Spider-Man 2 and brought it to a whole new level. The controls and the movement in this game are so slick and fluid. Like, it is so much fun to swing around the city, and even during the combat, like, I've not played a game with combat this good before. I know a lot of people have compared it to the Batman Arkham games, which I haven't actually played. But since I've had so much fun with the combat in this game, I definitely want to give those games a go as well.
Not cool.
Kilo 1, we're engaging target. Prep for evac and transport.
You guys are not walking off with me today.
Man down!
I'll literally just put on some music and just swing through the city for like half an hour, and just literally just be in the zone and just feel like I've like gone on a nice walk, you know, and it gives me that same kind of like runner's high that you might get, you know, just going on a jog. As you're swinging through New York as well, you know, sometimes certain crimes pop up and you can kind of just stop your swinging and jump straight into a crime and save the civilian, you know, just beat up some bad guys. And yeah, once you're done with that, you just jump back into swinging, and you really do feel like Spider-Man just going about his day. Love this game as well because it's got some really funny costumes and unlockables. Again, character customization, tick. It's not a game that you might think is being cozy, but I would really recommend it, especially for the story. Both the original Spider-Man and the Spider-Man Miles Morales kind of DLC spin-off. Both of them really fantastic characters and great stories, and it will have you hooked for hours.
Corporate kidnapping.
And the last game I want to talk about is Pokemon Legends Arceus on the Nintendo Switch. What I really like about this game is that, like Skater XL and Spider-Man, you've got these beautiful levels that you can just free roam without any objectives and just have fun. I think that's probably the theme of a lot of these free roam games for me, is just having these areas to explore and just use the game mechanics and just kind of mess around in. Obviously, it's no secret I'm a huge Pokemon fan, and I was actually a little bit kind of wary of this game when I first saw the trailers for it. I thought this looks quite empty and quite dull. It kind of reminded me of Pokemon Sword and Shield, which I didn't think were particularly good games. I was kind of on the fence about getting this game, but as time went on and I was seeing a lot of gameplay videos and a lot of reviews about it, people were saying, yeah, it's the best Pokemon game I've ever played. I've never had so much fun. And I thought, you know what, let me just give it a go. And it proved me wrong. It is definitely the most fun I've had playing a Pokemon game, and probably the most fun game I've had on Switch at the minute. The story is very basic, very random. You're a Pokemon trainer that has suddenly been teleported like thousands of years into the past, into the Hisui region, which I believe is kind of like the precursor or the foundations of the Hoenn region. And essentially you're just thrown into this small little town and you've been told to catch Pokemon and build up this really you know, traditional Pokedex, you know, the encyclopedia of all the Pokemon. So the gameplay is actually really fun, and the controls again are really slick. It reminds me a bit of kind of Monster Hunter, a little bit of Breath of the Wild. You've got these like fairly nice kind of open worlds. They do feel a little bit dead, but the gameplay does make up for it massively. So you're capturing Pokemon in a very active way. You know, you actually aim to throw the Pokeball. You've got to sneak up behind them. As you're encountering Pokemon, some Pokemon aren't too friendly and they'll attack you, and it is scary as hell. It is honestly so much fun, I can't really explain it. If you're on the fence about buying it, I'd highly recommend it. It's unlike any other Pokemon game. I've had a lot more fun with it, and I'm really glad that they've done something different. And of course, this game has character customization, and it is so good. I honestly just have so much fun buying clothes, changing the hair of my characters. And of course, Mabu Psyduck is in the game. And there's a really fun photo mode in the game where you can take photos and pose with your Pokemon. And I actually spend loads of time doing that. Sometimes I'll just come home from work and take photos with them, and I didn't think I'd like that feature as much as I do, but it is just quite funny and wholesome. So the game encourages you to catch as many Pokemon as you can, and as many of the same type as Pokemon as you can. So within the Pokedex, there are all these different challenges. So after the main story, there's still a lot to do in the game, which I think is always a big plus. A lot of side quests. But again, like every Pokemon game, the aim is to catch them all. And what's really fun as well is in the Pokedex, there are different challenges of how you're supposed to catch the Pokemon and what attacks you're supposed to use on them. So there's a lot of replayability to it and a lot of challenges and things just to get on with. And of course, there are shiny Pokemon in this game as well, so shiny hunting is a really big thing. I haven't caught many shiny Pokemon, to be honest, but it's something that is always just fun and always exciting when you see it happen in the wild. So this game has some really good quality of life improvements, which I wish were in the mainline Pokemon games. In particular, the battle system is very slick, very fast. Kind of just go straight into it without kind of fading to black. You can move around the Pokemon, you can kind of input the moves, and even just carry on walking. So once you defeat the Pokemon, you know, you don't then need to fade back into the overworld. You're already in the overworld and you just carry on. And it just makes the whole process a lot slicker. So I hope that's something that they try and bring into the future games, but looking at the trailer for the new games, doesn't look like it's going to be the case. It really does make me feel like a kid again watching the Pokemon anime and just, you know, I really do feel like a Pokemon trainer. So I'd love to know what cozy games you guys are playing. And those are some of mine. Or if you've got some games that aren't conventionally cozy games like Skater XL or Spider-Man, then please let me know. I'm always into like figuring out new vibes. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you later.